Advocating for a prioritization of physical and mental health is for all people. So we're taking some time for the fellas. It's your month, gentlemen, to take a step back and evaluate where you're at when it comes to what's going on up top. Dr. De Gannes joins us to break down the barriers some may face. Welcome back, Tirrell. Happy to have you.
Hi, thanks for having me back. I really appreciate it.
Of course. And so first, what are some of those holes in mental health when it comes to men across the country?
Well, let's start with what I think is the most obvious. Guys, we're just using mental health utilization much lower than women are, and it's showing. What does that mean in English? We're not going to therapy. We're not using mindfulness. We're not doing all the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves up there. And it's coming out in a lot of ways. We're giving bad advice. We're giving aggression as advice, and we're resorting to extreme measures when we could just find the right ways to deal with it. And it's a bad thing that we're doing. We need to get better at it.
And how does that directly impact, say, young professionals? You said kind of lashing out in anger. That's going to really affect the workplace, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. For young professionals like myself, of course, we find ourselves putting in way too much effort and we're not seeing the results that we're looking for. And we start taking it out on others and sometimes on ourselves. And that comes to fruition in forms of burnout, in causing bad relationships with our peers, and just a lot of negative consequences that we're just trying to avoid as a whole. So in order to get rid of that, we have to find a better sense of balance. Know that your work life is important. And coming out of the 2020 Great Resignation, we're not trying to keep jobs that we don't want to keep anymore, right?
Yeah.
So go to the jobs that you want. And when you have the right job, make sure that you're spending time outside of it, making your personal value much higher than just what you do at work.
So talking a little bit more about balance, let's dive deeper into that. How can somebody really manifest that in their life? Is it getting a calendar to make sure they know what they're doing every day? Is it that simple, or what would you suggest?
Starting with a calendar is actually a great idea. I would also just add a little bit more to that, right? So you want to make sure that your life isn't just work. Are you spending time on things that you personally like? Are you creating hobbies for yourself?
Yeah.
Are you interacting with family, friends, peers? Are you learning more about the environment around you? Creating a sense of community. The more things you do that isn't just how much money am I making or what's my title, the better your life is going to be overall.
Couldn't agree more. And for us kind of on the other side who maybe are kind of receiving that or seeing it happen in someone's life, how can we come, support men, come alongside?
Well, I'll kind of break this down to three major tips. One, if you want to have a really good life, you want to help develop friendships and develop the spectrum of friendships as a whole. So it's not just, am I friends with you or am I not? Are we acquaintances? Are we friends? Are we good friends? Are we best friends? And having that spectrum and knowing some people fit in certain categories and some people don't, it's really great. Second tip is encourage yourself to be around people that support you asking for help. It's really important to know that you're able to do that and there's no shame in that. And finally, I really want to say this, go to therapy. Find better vocabulary, find people that support you, find an impartial supporter, and if you're willing to get someone to help you physically and better your body, have someone better your mind.
Great advice, Tirrell. I love it. And I kind of want to end on this thing. Is there anything that you would say is like a tried and true, take this out of your life and it will help kind of get you back on track? I know social media, people post of, I'm going on hiatus for 2 months. I'm not going to have social media. You kind of make fun of it, right? But is there a value to maybe taking a step back to get right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can take, let's say, a week off of social media, any social media whatsoever, you'll find your sleep is improving. You'll find you have less comparisons to others. And overall, you're going to find a better sense of enjoying the moment. And that's something that we cannot get too much of.
So well said, Dr. De Gannes. And where can people keep up with you? What's next?
Well, follow me on all social medias, That Black Doctor. It's very simple. If you can spell that, Black and Doctor, you find me. And feel free to follow what I'm doing on TikTok and see what else I put out there.